My name's Dave DeBow, founder of MoneyPartnerFormula.com, and this show is built for everyday real estate investors who are actively doing deals and looking to scale using other people's money. So if you're an active real estate investor and you want to get featured on this show to talk about your own real estate and capital raising experiences, then just go to daveinterviewyou.com. Now let's get rolling with this episode, and remember to subscribe for daily interview content.
Hey kids, welcome back. Today our special guest, zooming in from Los Angeles, California, Diva Rescia is a very accomplished real estate entrepreneur, and she got into it via a different kind of career path. In fact, Diva has been I believe a Fox News anchor, broadcaster, so she knows a thing or two about media. She knows a lot about real estate, and she knows a lot about helping people, optimize things in the real estate world. So Diva, welcome to the show. Great to have you.
Thanks for having me, Dave. I really appreciate it. It's an honor to be here and, talk to your audience.
Likewise. So Diva, give us a little snapshot as of spring of 2026 when we're recording this. What does your portfolio currently consist of? What kind of properties are you involved in?
Sure. So mostly focus on multifamily, and we do institutional as well as value add acquisitions. We currently have a little over 3,000 doors under management, assets under management, and we focus mostly on the Sunbelt states, but now we're very bullish in California due to the legislations, a lot of out-migration from Los Angeles, so we're seeing tremendous opportunity here as everybody else has migrated to Florida, Texas, Arizona. We're very bullish on California into the secondary markets.
Interesting. So when you say we, what does that mean?
Our team.
So are you part of a larger organization? What's the team?
We're under Rescia Properties, and under Rescia Properties, we manage assets under management. We have about 3,000, and every person on our team focuses on certain things, whether it's underwriting, looking for the deal, finding investors for the deal.
Or are you like the lead sponsor? Are you co-GPs on deals? How does it kind of work on the back end?
Sure. So we're mostly the GPs on the deal. So we find the asset, something that's under replacement costs. We know that we can add value to that asset, whether it's already stabilized or we have to come in and stabilize it. But our main focus is looking at the data and the demographics and the analytics of the market. We want to be very 100%, or we want to say 120% certain that there's going to be an exit for that particular asset. So it's a group of us, and we each have a focus on our own specialty.
Right. And do you work with co-GPs as well? Or you guys bring them down?
Yeah, we do co-GPs. I mean, we're always open. We're also part of LPs, and we also do GP. But mostly right now, our main focus for 2026 is GP good assets and providing returns for the investors.
Very cool. Very, very good. All right. So you're a busy person. So you're doing this stuff. I believe you're still working in media. Tell us a little bit about that side of your business.
Sure. So I started actually as a Fox and Univision news anchor. So I did that for some time, but the media always try to control me. It's not what you think, People think, oh, the media, this and that, but it's true what they say. They don't really let you be a true journalist at the end of the day. So I had a lot of beef with the stations and the news directors because I was a transparent journalist. I wanted to really put out what was going on, and I always would get shut down. So my parents, since a young age, we grew up very poor, and they found a way of, buying. They got a good timing after 2008 when everything crashed. They were able to save some money. So they bought a first house with like a loan. And they put that and they made some money. So they did that for some time. And that's how I tapped into it. But I was so focused with my career that I did not listen. My parents kept saying, do real estate, do real estate, do real estate. At this time, I had a contract with the station. So I couldn't just get up and leave. Yeah. But one day I was there for I want to say 3 years. And one day I said, you know what? A light switch went off. I said, I'm going to leave everything. I'm going to drop my contract and I'm going to go back to California. At that time, I was living in Texas. I didn't like Texas because it was so hot already, and plus I was away from my family. Fast forward, I ended up buying my first house out in Colton in the Inland Empire, the Booties. And I sold that house and I made just like profit about $20,000. It's not a lot of money, But that was an eye-opener for me because I had to work half a year
Yeah.
to make 20,000 or 40,000, so it was, the light switch went off. And then I just started fixing and flipping, and that kind of took me out of media for a while, being on camera.
Yeah.
But now I said to myself, there's all these social media platforms. We got podcasts. So I said, why not provide some education through media, my background, and then, just do that on social media. So that's kind of where I still stay in media, but it's to provide educational content.
Hey there, if you're a capital raiser, a syndicator, or a fund manager, and you're looking for a steady flow of incoming accredited investor leads, then go ahead, grab a free copy of my new book, How to Get 20 Accredited Investor Meetings Every Month Without Cold Calling, Networking, or Chasing People. You can get that at 20accreditedinvestorsbook.com. Again, that's the number 20accreditedinvestorsbook.com.
So what does the media look like that you're doing these days?
So it's called Rescia Real Estate News. So I provide anything about the latest legislations that are going in California, apartment laws, tenants, people that want to maybe buy their first multifamily, don't know how to get into the space, how to leverage your asset, how to look for deals, the underwriting of multifamily. So it's all the particular little steps of from start to finish.
So it's kind of come full circle for you. You get to go back to that, the career, but you don't have to worry about the doofus bosses is shutting you down. You're
right. Yeah.
Got your own media.
Nobody telling me what to do. And it's so funny because I think some of my colleagues, they were at the station maybe for 2-3 years and they were very successful. They had high-end contracts and they just got laid off. So you never know, you're always on someone's paycheck and you can be replaced any day. This is the guy that was a head anchor at one of the stations. His contract was about $2 million. He got laid off. He started a podcast and he blew up.
Nice.
He already had the following, but going back to that is that you always want to have, I would always say, like my parents say, a plan B. It's good to have an education, but you need to have a plan B because times are tough. Inflation keeps going up. So you have to always build, your real estate portfolio, or whether that's stocks, something that creates passive income while you sleep.
So it sounds like you got inspired by your parents. Are they still active real estate investors themselves as well?
No, I kind of retired my parents. My dad's 80 already. And then my mom, she's about 70 years old. So, they're content, happy, kind of have them relax now, enjoy life because they worked really hard.
So for the real estate side of things, where are you taking your company over the next year or so, Diva? Where do you see things going?
So we plan to maybe our team looking for 3 acquisitions, maybe 200 or 300 units in the high growth market. So that's kind of where we're keeping our eyes on. And we also want to tap into, we haven't tapped into, I was just at a conference last week in La Jolla, San Diego, into the mobile home park space, because there's such a big affordability gap for people that live in California or just across the states. But to afford a house here, it's just the average price of a home is $1 million. So it's becoming a renter's nation and the rents just keep going up. So how do these young Gen Zs, how are they able to afford a home? So the mobile home space park gives you that, feeling of being in a home. The price is much lower and it's kind of affordable. And some of these communities are actually very, very nice.
Yeah. No, very interesting. I was just interviewing another gentleman in California and he's doing what he calls micro infill projects right around your neck of the woods. Where did you say you bought that first property?
Out in Colton. So it's San Bernardino County. He's probably out here because there's a lot of land.
Yeah, well, I can't remember, but you called it something, the Inland something or other.
Inland Empire.
Yeah, that's what he called it too. So that's where he kind of was talking about doing this. And yeah, very, very interesting opportunities now in California.
Yeah.
When before nobody would look at it. But yeah, there's ways to make things cash flow these days. So what are you guys looking at besides mobile home parks? Or just are you going to focus on that for your California acquisitions?
Oh, so we're focusing on mobile home parks and assisted living. That's a space I want to kind of tap into. My brother's already in that space at a smaller scale.
Yeah.
But we are looking to tap into the assisted living just because of the baby boomers, and there's a demand for it. There's a necessity. But still, multifamilies are go-to. There's a housing shortage here of about 4 million. So just in the IE, 4 million housing shortage. And it's just, it's
huge.
It's huge. That's why they're starting to pass all these laws with the ADUs that pass. There's not sufficient homes and there's not sufficient supply for all the demand.
Yeah, it's huge. So Diva, everything that sound like you're going to be doing or are doing is very capital intensive. What do you guys do for raising private capital these days?
Sure. So we actually have a good deal. So it's the deal that raises the capital. It's an opportunity for someone to jump in and say, hey, I'm paying a lot in taxes. This is a way to offset the taxes. You're in a high growth market where you're going to get, rent. You can get increase in rents. This is why we tap into maybe the secondary markets in California, because there's so much regulation in Los Angeles. So these markets, you do get, it's a minimal rent bump that you factor in, which is, you could do 5%, which is very doable. But to raise the capital, it's that opportunity that you bring to the investor. So within our network, and we always like to just talk to people about, opportunities that are out there that they can.
So how do you generate those investor leads these days? How do you make those connections and start those conversations? What do you find is working best for you?
So we put on webinars, educational webinars. We also attend a lot of conferences. There's a lot of conferences that are being held. We're part of real estate clubs as well. So it's a big community. There's different communities that we tap into, and that's how kind of we raise the capital.
Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense. Oh, very, very fascinating stuff. So are you excited about the prospects of this upcoming year?
I'm very excited. I think a lot of people, I hear from a lot of mom and pop operators, are holding back to see where the interest rate's going, where the market is going. And I think real estate's very cyclical. So if you understand the cycles and you've been through the cycles before, there's opportunity. We have a very small window. I want to say within the next 24 months of all these loans and debt maturities coming due. So there's going to be an opportunity that we're not going to see maybe in the next 20 years. So you can actually jump in there, pick up a good piece of property under replacement cost, because a lot of the institutional guys took out these loans during COVID that were like 3%, and now they're underwater. So the deals are not penciling out. So this is where we see opportunity in the debt maturity space. The legislation where a lot of, landlords, they're tired. They don't want to deal with no more. They want to just get out. I was talking to a guy yesterday. He said, I just want to sell everything. He's tired. We getting squeezed so much in California that it's just like a lot of people are hanging up the gloves. Yeah.
It's interesting times, but if you're ready for it, if you're poised for it, there's amazing opportunities coming down the pipeline. So Diva, as we're wrapping things up, if people want to find out more and connect with you, what's the best way for them to do that?
Dave, I think thanks first for having me on the show. It's great to talk to your audience. I really appreciate that.
My pleasure.
They can reach me on LinkedIn. So my first name, Diva, and then my last name, Rescia, and they can just Google me on LinkedIn.
You're probably the only one. That's a beautiful name.
Thank you so much.
Awesome.
I appreciate it.
Diva, thanks very much for being on the show.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right, everybody, take care. We'll see you on the next one.
Hey there, I really hope you enjoyed that episode. And as always, if you want to listen to more daily interview content, make sure you subscribe. And if you're an active real estate investor and you're doing deals and you'd like to get featured on this show, then just head over to daveinterviewsyou.com.